Well, no, not sort of. You would be like, did you click on the YouTube, Twitter? And he'd be like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. But then it just kind of became part of his like opening thing. He'd like, I hit the YouTubes, and so he just kind of made it part of the opening thing. I didn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, he got rid of the checklist. And that's why it crashed. Because when you get rid of
no, he didn't get rid of the checklist. He made it part of the thing.
Right. There was no redundancy. How many engines do we have? 1. How many are failing? 1. Prepare to meet your shadow. In aviation, that means crash.
Screw you guys. I'm going. Oh wait. So YouTube.
Did
check.
You grab the book?
No.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Hurry.
I gotta start. Headphones, microphone. If you want to chime in, headphones there, Chris. Please slap them on. See if you can hear.
Got to get right up on it.
Yeah, you got to get right up in these mics.
Right up on that bad
Big
boy.
old phallic objects.
Mm-hmm. Just don't lick it.
You gotta lick it. You gotta stick it. You can move it wherever you need.
Okay.
If it stays, it stays. They're
Wherever is the most comfortable for you, sir.
It's not the most.
Okay.
Go live.
I heard that.
Oh yeah, we're now all deaf. Oh,
little echo going on. I love it.
I'd like to hear it early on so I can make sure it's turned off for the rest of the show.
Right.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My friends call me 3D. Please stay tuned for the potentially most interactive comedy radio show on the planet called Pipedream. Join us live. Go to comedypipe.com. Hit live or hit the play button on the YouTube. You can watch the show, interact with the show. Momentarily.
What about Facebook?
Facebook is, I think, live.
Okay.
It looks live.
What about Twitter?
Twitter is always live. Twitter never ever turns off. That's at Comedypipe.
That's right.
So go to Facebook, find us, Comedypipe, search us, find us any way you can. Comedypipe's pretty much a one-word conglomerate that has no competition.
Kind of dummy proof.
Just putting it's funny like you're smoking it. That's kind of a Comedypipe. Jefferson, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you.
I'd like to dedicate this show to your grandmother.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for kicking the bucket.
Yeah, we will get into the bucket very, very shortly. We're going to touch on the bucket very soon. Joe Green is here.
Hey.
Do we have the book?
No.
How do we not have the book?
Is it in your pocket? Your coat
it's gotta
pocket?
Be in your coat.
It might be, but
it's got to be.
I've got my memory.
I don't know.
I saw you put it somewhere. And you didn't have me bend over. So.
The good book of Pipedream. You know where it is.
Oh.
It's in the pocket.
Joe
book. Green, to his own rescue, found the book.
The book.
And if you do follow the good book, also follow our good friend Dave Canyon.
My memory did not fail me.
Who's got a podcast, the Dumbing It Down with Dave podcast.
There's only 4 things on it.
The fastest podcast on earth. Find him at Dumbing It Down with Dave or email him at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Find his podcast on Spreaker. Friend him on Facebook, Dave Canyon, the fastest podcast on earth, telling you how life ought to be and pragmatism. He's all into pragmatism. I'd like to welcome our guest this week, who if I recall, this has been a 3 to 4 year process in the making. Trying to get Chris O'Leary live on the air in studio. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's you know how it is, man. Time, things. Time and things.
Yeah.
Makes the heart grow fonder.
I think there was a total of 4 attempts getting you on the show.
Right.
One I recall, we actually spoke. I think it was on Joe's phone, but we spoke on the phone. Nobody speaks on the phone anymore.
No.
Phone, yeah, right.
Only if it's an emergency.
No.
That's
it wasn't an emergency. It definitely wasn't an emergency. So you've got a phone.
I have a phone, yeah. It's got a curly cord.
Yep.
It plugs into the wall. And if I'm around and it makes noise, I'll see who it is.
Okay. That's. But now you're on Facebook.
Do you remember how dangerously we used to have to live? You guys are young.
I
right?
lived. I had rotary. I
Yeah.
had rotary.
This is
That
how
thing chopped my finger every
dangerous
time.
it was in the old days.
Mike and I
You're in your
were on the
house,
cusp.
Yeah.
and the phone rings, and you go over to it, and you don't know who's there. You have to
No
pick it
caller
up.
ID.
There's no way to
nothing.
know
Yeah.
after the call, even. You had to roll the dice every day of your life and pick that thing up. It could be, you've just won, or it could be like, this is the district attorney.
It's
And
a
you-
whole
and you
different
always-
world.
And you always have to start by making yourself vulnerable by saying, "Hello."
Yeah.
I'm gonna bite you in the fucking neck. I should have never said.
So but here's my question, Chris.
So we rolled the dice in the old days. We not like you kids today.
Yeah.
You look at you got you got your things there, or you got your little look. You hold it like it's a cracker. They hold it, they talk into it like
Oh yes,
like they got a cracker with some cheese and meat on it.
Yes.
They just don't want to spill it.
the speakerphone hole.
And the only one they're ever talking to is Siri, And I keep mixing Siri up with Syria. So I'm like, Siri, when's the next airstrike?
Tomorrow, you fool.
Yeah. But so we
Your
lived in
feelings
those days.
don't- Your feelings don't matter.
And you guys probably can't even appreciate the effort you had to go into to make a phone call.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You put your finger in there. You put your finger in the hole.
We're
You start
older than
making
you
the
think.
circles.
Just that's I want to put that out there.
See, 'cause
All of us are older
I
than
remember-
you think.
I remember my friends' phone numbers from back in the day, but I can't tell you their cell phone numbers now. Like I remember their
I got a
old
couple,
house
yeah,
phone
I
Yeah,
got a
the
couple.
act of actually sticking your finger in
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Pure rotary.
And then you had to wait till
Just,
you dial in what somebody with a lot of nines and zeros.
you motherfucker.
I dropped friends because it was like 797-009.
No.
I'm like, forget it. I met
Did you
somebody new. He's 232-1122.
I'm hoping at least nowadays you have some level of touch tone phone
Yeah, there's the buttons.
buttons. Yes,
I got it's actually my dad's old phone when he was losing his vision. So the numbers are about the size of, like
Yeah.
a bathroom tiles.
It's the equivalent to the jitterbug cell phone that was specifically
He can
made
hit each button with
Yeah.
his palm.
for old people. The
It's like a
jitterbug
whack-
cell phone is like a laptop.
It's kind of like Tom Hanks in Big when he's dancing to play the song. You have to. It's a lot of effort.
So here's my question,
You
Chris.
dial it with one of those whack-a-mole mallets.
You're now on Facebook.
Yeah.
What
Facebook.
changed?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. What happened was that everybody. I started to know more people as I got back into doing comedy.
Okay.
And it was like, they're constantly there's Facebook. Everyone's on Facebook. I'll talk to you on Facebook. I'm like, well, I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, you got the look. You got the look.
And it's like, why? Where? What are you? We in a bubble? You're on Mars,
Yeah.
or
Joe does the Facebook, but he's also very fond of what he calls life book.
Yeah,
Like,
It's
yeah,
a good thing, yes.
Yeah.
The life book.
yeah. Like,
that sounds like the start of a cult,
Well,
right there.
could be better than Facebook.
Well,
There's no Kool-Aid, but that's a good thing, right?
I like Kool-Aid.
Well, but it's
Mm.
purple Kool-Aid.
Just the red.
Yeah, that's
If
You die
if
when
the
you drink that.
Jonestown Massacre, if they had probably had like lemon lime Kool-Aid, all those people would be alive.
Mm.
Because
At
they get
least
to the
the
front of the line, they're like,
dogs.
"Do you have anything besides lemon and lime? Do you have cherry? No. Do you have grape? Just the lemon and lime. We'll
Okay.
live.
okay.
Thanks. We'll live."
we don't have a liquor license. How long have we been here?
So
I'm not going out. All I'm saying is I'm not going out for orange.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So-
Orange
so-
makes you have to pee.
since we're on the topic of life or death here, the show is pseudo dedicated to Jefferson's grandmother who did just pass. So there's a real level of stuff there. Now, Joe and I
No, I'm
went
sorry to hear
to.
that.
Thank you.
I lost
Yeah.
my grandfather last month.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry we didn't go to his wake, but we did go to Jefferson's grandmother's wake. I'll let y'all take it from there. We went to a wake. Yeah, no,
All right.
I figured let them tell the story, because it's going to be way funnier them telling it than me telling it.
Oh, this is so much
And plus,
pressure.
it's
know.
about me.
He's really building us up.
Yeah. So here you go. So we're at a wake.
So we're at a wake.
Yeah, and we. Okay, I'd like to start with first of all, we weren't invited.
That's,
You crash.
Joe,
So you're weight crashers.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
Joe literally
That's a great way to
texted me.
meet women.
I wasn't invited. I'm like, it's not how this works.
Yeah, no, you just show up.
Yeah, I had to see 43 and wake etiquette. Just for some reason, it never. So I didn't.
You don't get invited. I mean, there's no. How can you possibly RSVP?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she's going to get it in
First
time.
thing that came to mind, and I didn't want to say because I'm like, that should be. Why are we having this
That's
conversation?
why they put it in the paper.
Yeah. So I felt
Not that anyone gets a paper, but sorry, Joe, you go.
I felt a little awkward, like walking in because I was like, we weren't invited, and then he explained it to me, but I was just like, I still got to Google it, but let's go through with this. Anyway, I walk in and he gets a hold of Nick, and there's people that are going through the procession. There's this thing, this jar.
It's a wake.
It's a wake, yeah. And he walks over, and the first thing I said was, I was like, when I left my house tonight, I told my mom. She's like, oh, where are you going? You're all dressed up, and I was like, I'm going to my friend's grandmother's wake, and I'm going to fist bump her and tell her she did a great job. So that's what I told him when I got there. I'm gonna fist bump. And he goes, and he looks at me. He goes, well, good luck with that. She's in the jar over there.
So that just
We all start
that just starts the
laughing.
giggles.
We all start. The three of us, little atom over on the other side of the wall. Like everyone else, all the families on this, and then there's us over there going, ah.
Now there were children running around. It wasn't like a somber.
And you were three of them.
Yes, we were definitely three.
We were the loudest and having the most fun.
Well,
so then some
you
other
know.
stuff happened. We said some other things. I don't quite remember. Whatever. And
I laugh way too loudly. Is really what it boils down to.
We were having fun.
how
We were-
loudly is the laughter supposed to be at the wake again?
Well, I don't know.
Between a
like
0
none,
and a negative
Right? Yeah,
0.
right. That's
Yeah,
It depends
your
on the
grandmother.
wake.
You
Should-
could
It
yeah.
really depends.
listen. Life is.
So it's like there's
She
three-
would have wanted you to laugh at her wake.
That's
It's
right.
good, yeah.
yeah, we were really
It was
You were
getting,
really laughing.
it was
at this
getting
woman's
a
wake.
little rowdy.
Describe for me the looks of horror on her
I don't
contemporaries.
even know, really. I wasn't paying attention.
Let
or
the story,
annoyed.
let the story continue
Oh, I'm sorry.
because it'll
There's
answer.
more.
It'll.
All right, let's get into this.
So we're just standing there, bullshitting, laughing, and I can tell it's starting to feel a little awkward that we're laughing so much. So I say, all right, all right, guys, you can, all right, I'll see you later. Thanks for coming, this and that. And they say, all right, good, we're gonna get going, and we do the fist bump. Joe turns around and walks away. Mike turns to walk away, and there's a metal wastebasket underneath this coffee table that we're all standing in front of. Mike turns to walk away, kicks it, and it goes kabang.
No, it didn't go kabang. It hit the leg of the table. It hit once and then bounced on the floor like 3-4 times before
It
it
was like
settled.
a giant empty copper.
Yeah, it was.
drum.
Yeah, I think it was copper. I looked at it.
It's okay, folks. Those weren't her ashes.
Yeah,
Those were legit. If you look, there's butts in there. There's
I'm just
menthol.
like, okay, we just have this
She
conversation.
didn't smoke menthol. Those aren't her
Well,
ashes.
we just have this conversation like, all right, we're laughing too hard. Let's get out of here. All right, we're all on the same page. Let's go quietly. We are out free.
Yeah,
scot free.
The last thing that I said that was Mike was like, okay, we really got to go. We're laughing too hard because I said to Nick, I says, we're at a wake and we're three dudes and somehow we're
Just
checking,
three dudes at a wake.
We're
How many times, right?
Yeah, we're checking.
Spring break, we're
Oh,
three dudes at a wake,
Yeah,
man.
we're all of a sudden this is like, man, she's cute. Yeah, like we're doing that shit.
Well, you're a man. You're a human man.
Yeah.
Whenever there's more than one woman present, you start judging who you would do
And I said to him,
and in
I
what
go-
order you would do them.
And I-
She's probably two. I think I saw one go into the
I-
kitchen who was.
I said to Nick, I said, oh, the girl sitting down over there with the glasses. She's kind of, kind of cute. And he goes, yeah, that's my sister.
Pick the one out, the whole crowd. That's when I started
And that's
giggle
when I
number
said-
2.
And that's when I said I'm really glad I was respectful there. It didn't be like, I want to tear that shit up, man. I was really glad. I was like, she's cute.
She catch me outside. How about that? Uh-huh. So okay, so I kicked.
So that was the laugh we had to leave on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike made a big loud noise and kicked the bucket. And
Now the irony.
yeah,
Sweet irony. I
Uh-huh.
love irony.
I
He
don't know if
starts-
it's irony, coincidence,
Lay
or
out the
happenstance.
irony. Yeah.
Happenstance.
The bucket-
Perfect.
Happenstance.
The bucket hits the floor. It sounds like you're getting off a cruise ship in Jamaica. It's like ding 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 ding.
Like steel drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
That's good.
silent.
That's nice.
It's silent. It settles and it's silent.
There
for
was-
a nanosecond.
There was a dull roar. People were talking. It wasn't again a somber, silent.
No.
I've been to wakes where nobody's making a peep. I'm like, yo, what?
Right.
Come on.
The steel drum made everybody stop. It was
Sure. They thought it was margarita time.
Everybody made eye contact on me, mainly because
he's biting his knuckle.
that's where the noise came from. I'm now biting my knuckle to not laugh, and I'm the tallest person in the room. So yeah, I'm like, as I'm biting my knuckle, irony steps in.
This old guy walks right past me. Now I'm already laughing, and without missing a beat, this guy goes, "Hey, he kicked the bucket."
Beautiful.
I'm now biting my knuckle even more, going, oh my, just.
I
turn
fucking lost it.
Yeah, he fell on the couch looking like
He was in front of like what, a white pleather couch, and
I'm right.
he fell over. I turned around, I'm like, oh my god, he just fell.
Grandma's ghost punched him in the gut.
Yeah, I can't say anything more. I need to just keep walking away. So I think somebody else picked the garbage can up. I did.
Oh, it was
That's a sum of sweet irony.
Yeah.
That's a nice irony.
Yeah, he just kicked the bucket.
I kind of like juicy irony.
Like, but I just
He kicked the bucket. What do you want me to say?
I can imagine
Love
the
it.
conversation in the car after the wake from the guy's wife that was 2 steps ahead of him. Going, I can't believe you said that at a wake. That's so inappropriate.
Oh, it was magnificent.
You're lucky I don't fart in church.
It was just,
Even though I
Yeah.
do, it's silent.
I kicked the
I
bucket.
bet she was more like, Randall, that was rather pithy. That really revealed a dry sensibility
But I think
and a kind of bravura wit that I look for in a middle-aged man I've been married to for 30 years.
I've never left a wake thinking.
I'm calling the lawyer and I'm having the divorce papers torn up.
Yes.
That comment saved our marriage. No.
I've never left a wake thinking, I'm going to fuck this guy.
Yeah, never before, Randall.
So we do have another guest in the studio, Chris's cousin Tom.
Hey, how you doing?
Get right
Look
in
out to
that
Tom
thing.
Richmond. Tom Richmond, a very interesting gentleman here.
Glad to be here.
Very interesting.
Y'all seem
gentleman.
to know a lot about music.
Oh yeah.
Well, we lived through the generation when people played music with instruments
Whoa.
and voices that were
What
not
is that?
altered by robotic
Auto-tune,
programs.
yeah.
yeah. In other words, there was an actual sentient being behind the
Yeah, there was an actual.
making of the
There
sound.
was a person
This
hitting
was
that
a
drum.
conscious sentient being that was actually
Yeah.
that actually had flaws, and that was part of the beauty of the whole rhythm.
You do
That's
realize
what
there are bands still
That's
today,
it.
right?
Well,
Sure, there are. But you don't just listen. All I know is
It's not
I
a
go on
lost
the
art yet.
YouTubes and I talk to the young people, and they go to these music festivals.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
the person
those
on the
music-
stage is doing exactly what you're doing right there.
Yes,
The
twisting
way- He's
knobs,
turning a couple
twisting knobs, raising his
Yeah,
hand a
he's
couple
doing like
times.
this,
Yes.
like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see him twist that fucking knob?
That was the
Just
best knob they
right.
ever. Yeah.
And
Shit on that sweat.
There's cool shit on the screen behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not here, but at the concert.
Those dudes have like helmets on that you can't see through. And the twisting knobs like there's no tomorrow.
You can't twist
Look,
those
he's
knobs.
sliding the dial there. and
So
he's-
Larry can't twist those knobs.
I can't twist those knobs.
Those knobs make money. Do you
Yeah.
blame him? If you could twist knobs and make money, would you?
But you
I
know
would
something?
not.
You would not, Tom. Would you? If you could
No.
twist knobs,
No. This is the thing.
Life is short enough.
What do you do for-
Let me
Life is
explain about
short.
the latest unified
short.
field theory, which modern science has now got to the level where it points to consciousness. Because you have superstring theory, which is one of the unified field theories.
I'm with you.
It's weak interaction,
I taught
strong
my son
interaction,
string theory.
electromagnetism,
And it's great at parties.
and gravitation,
Oh,
which
that's
is the
silly
missing
string.
link. But so superstring theory
The
says
short
the
version.
universe is like short version are like
Really?
vibrating
awesome.
like vibrating guitar strings.
Yep.
So that just proves that Jimi Hendrix is God.
I'm with you.
Yes.
I
yes.
can't-
definitely.
okay.
Who better to vibrate guitar strings? So that's the.
Yeah, no,
be-
it's
besides the fact that there's just one consciousness. Go ahead.
yeah. I'm down. I'm down with the Jimmy.
Yeah.
And first of all, superstring theory,
Super.
quantum theory. We believe anything scientists just tell us. They come out and they say, "Oh yeah, no, it's all made out of string. It's a bunch of
It's a
strings.
theory, not a string.
It's a big string
So,
thing."
so what's your
And
favorite?
meanwhile, flying saucers have been showing up here regularly since the 1920s.
I was just about to ask, what is your favorite conspiracy theory that you believe is true right now?
Oh, well, then
specifically. If you can, and then I'll get into what mine is.
Because the trouble with conspiracy theories is most of them are true. That's really the problem with them. Almost all of them are absolutely true. People are like, what? Well, there's no such thing. What? If conspiracies don't exist, then how come people get convicted of conspiracy every week in this country?
Can you say that about every Michael Moore film?
Oh, you have to be more specific.
Well, every Michael Moore film, no matter what he decides is his stance in that film, the entire film is catered to prove that point. There's no negative. There's no con to it. It's all what he wants you to believe.
Well, Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3 is the same thing.
Sure, but that's a whole. We can talk about that for.
I mean, more.
I'm just saying, any conspiracy theory, when they're feeding you information, it's specifically
you have
designed.
to get really specific with me on it, then, because the trouble with Michael Moore is he's got about 85 minutes to state his case.
Sure.
So you're saying there's an obligation in his 85-minute film to show what debunkers?
No, I'm just saying, be conscious of what you're watching.
Well, he's presenting the evidence that supports.
It's Michael Moore. You should know what you're watching.
His position,
with,
but most of it is actual footage of people speaking.
Oh yeah, I'm not discounting any of that.
If you stick to the facts, I don't really have a problem with it.
Let's get into.
Of course, as they always say, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics.
Mm-hmm.
You can make numbers suggest anything, but
my favorite conspiracy theory that just had some new footage is the boomerang alien. Are you familiar with the boomerang alien?
Are you talking about the boomerang-shaped craft?
Yes.
Well,
boomerang.
Sure,
craft.
It's a very prevalent.
Did you see the new one? Like, I think it's less than a month old.
I have not.
And it just proves more to the point that this is something legitimate. There's a guy in a spacesuit with a GoPro on the side of his helmet, and he's fixing the space station. He has a lot of black open space up to his upper right. He's fixing this stuff. You see the shit go by. Somebody in his ear goes, yo, put your hand up. Shit's flying by. So why would you do this? In space, there's no sun. There's no, you got the best sunglasses in the world. If you want, put that visor shit down. Puts his hand up. Leaves it there for a little while. Takes it down. Why would you do that?
It's a good point.
It happens again. Now the guy in his ear goes, yo, the shit's happening again. You can't just put your hand there. Put less black space in your camera. Look more at what you're doing. And I'm assuming the guy had to go, well, I need to look here to do my job, dickhead. Mm-hmm. Now you want me to turn my head another 40 degrees to the left and not look at what I'm doing? You realize I'm in a spacesuit, right? But slow down.
You're saying
so are the little aliens
boomerang or triangle shaped craft.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. I mean, this is not news. This is not a matter of belief.
So wait. He saw something, or
there is something visual that goes by in open black space numerous times that does change direction, that defies physics as we know it.
This is the state of reality, is that alien visitation, alien craft have been recorded on film, on video, and photograph. Through radar signatures and in every other form of detection for well over 70 years. They became pretty prevalent in the 1940s.
So many pilots were called crazy. So many pilots were called crazy.
It's just the fact is that alien visitation and alien abductions are facts of life, and there's no room for belief. There's no reason for belief. Save the belief for the Easter Bunny. Save your belief for Jesus or Buddha, but you don't need to with this. These are the facts that this alien contact's been going on for close to a century now. And we're beyond the point of, is it happening? Questions, we should move on to the next level of questions, which are...
Well, how come no one's put it on Facebook Live yet? I'm not asking you because I don't think aliens are real. I absolutely do believe aliens are real, and
that's actually kind of a relevant question in society today.
I haven't really seen...
If there are...
I can answer almost any question on this topic. Ask me.
Why no Facebook yet?
I used to see lots of pictures come out back before everyone could fucking take a picture with one of these. there'd be pictures all the time. Now that everyone has a cell phone with a camera, there's no new pictures of cell
We
phones.
see lots
in
more
the sky.
plane crashes in
What is-
general.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's not something
Well,
everybody sees often. I'm not talking about anything.
There are dozens of legitimate sightings of craft and recorded sightings every week, every month really. There was one near an Air Force base in Ohio recently. It was caught in daylight, hovering by the clouds, a very odd shaped craft. That seems like some legitimate footage. Of course, a lot of it gets swallowed up. Photographic evidence becomes less and less relevant when you can Photoshop absolutely anything you want digitally. The early days of photography, when if you examined a photograph, you could see the grain,
Sure.
and it was impossible to really doctor photographs from the very early days of this.
See, my problem with the
But
Photoshop argument is if you know what you're doing in Photoshop, no matter how good you are, somebody can pick that apart and still see the flaws.
Well,
it's like
there's plenty of fake footage.
We'll talk
the
about
easiest way to
we'll talk
tell
about
it's
your
fake
the
is they
Photoshop
get,
image.
the easiest way you can tell they're fake is that they're too advanced and futuristic looking. The craft they fly around in are very simple. They
Did
are
you see
triangle shaped, or
the-
saucers.
Did you see the newest movie, Alien movie?
and they're cylinders.
Arrival?
Arrival.
Cylinder.
Did you see
I did
Arrival?
not. You see, I'm too connected to this topic. I hear
Okay.
it's a great film.
Cylinders.
It's all about
They
Yeah.
travel in cylinders.
You don't want
yeah, oh yeah,
you don't-
big
you don't wanna
cylindrical
slip into it.
craft. Yeah.
Haven't they proved that
Cigar
crop
shaped.
circles aren't?
Yeah,
You
don't
know,
wanna
in
step
in-
on
in
those.
France, the term for flying saucer is not flying saucer. It's le volant, le cigar. It is cigar shaped because cylinders are just about the most prevalently seen shape of crafts for the last 70 years. Yeah, there was one that flew over the Albany airport in 2000, and Fox News caught it on film accidentally. It was traveling at a couple thousand miles an hour, and it crossed the horizon in 3 frames. But the frames are very clear. The FBI showed up. They interviewed the guy.
Why no boom?
What do you mean, boom?
You're doing 3,000,
Yeah.
whatever.
Sonic boom.
You're,
That's a good question.
why
That's
no
a really
boom?
good question. And the fact is, these things stop on a dime from going thousands of miles an hour to an instant stop
It's got to be a
to a
fucking
90-degree right
whiplash.
turn.
Yeah.
You think they have the Hans device in those things?
No.
They answer,
No.
it's some advanced form of propulsion.
Taylor.
Who knows? There's a lot of theories about it. I can't tell you what their technology is.
So what do they look like?
Well, there's many different types of aliens. In fact, there's not just one. It's
What one are you most familiar with?
Which
I was
movie?
gonna think I'm insane, but
Which movie would you compare them to?
okay. You want to know?
Yeah.
Well, part of me wants to say Mars Attacks,
Oh, all right.
but not in appearance. Just
That's what I'm looking for.
in
The
attitude.
what appearance?
Just
oh,
dicks.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
dicks.
What
Um,
appearance would you compare them to?
Well, there was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which shows 2 different types of aliens at the end. They're probably the most prominently seen: short rays and the taller.
So
yellow
they're
rays.
humanoid. You think arms, legs?
That's a funny thing. Out of really dozens and dozens, there was a guy who was a NATO above top secret, is cosmic top secret, and he was a NATO head of security for NATO. He was an American officer serving NATO, and they had documented, they said, around 47, 48 different types of beings. And the thing is, they were all humanoid. Very greatly, but all humanoid for some reason. Maybe we're only of interest to other humanoid planets, or maybe 2 legs, 2 arms, and getting your head up high enough to see somebody coming is a good way to survive.
Top of the
Fingers.
evolutionary food chain.
Top of the food chain, brother.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
But
intelligent
anyway,
beings all
I
have
don't
these
wanna turn
characteristics
this-
in common, like the thumbs,
They
and
all
be
have
able to
thumb.
move things like all
Evolution is
intelligent-
evolution.
Yeah,
It all
yeah,
gives
yeah.
it all ends up
They
with a
might have
thumb.
3 fingers and 2 thumbs, but it all comes down to being able to make things and tools and create.
Or it's
There you
just like the beginning of that.
And it's quite likely if you buy into the ancient alien stuff. I'm not really concerned
I've
with
never seen
the
it.
ancient aliens. I'm only concerned with the modern era thing.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's quite possible they played a role in our development.
Sure, I can see that.
Quite possible. I don't know.
Monkeys are
I don't know.
fucking useless. Bad
But
monkeys.
just so you guys know, get ready because it's really going on. So, good thing we're in a bomb shelter down here.
With lots of cool toys.
So it's a big story. That what I would say is the biggest conspiracy theory, a cover up that's really been very successful for
Now,
50 years.
I'm just going to throw
Like
this out
everybody
there.
carries these algorithms in their pockets. That's what it is.
The phones are smarter. The phones are the smartest. You have smartphones with unlimited data, and yet the people are so stupid they voted in a huckster steak salesman.
Oh, data does not equal intelligence.
I'm going to steer this back away from the political side.
Sure,
For a short period
because
of time.
everybody loves him. How can I pick on such a beloved figure?
But
what has he ever done to anybody's
I need
pussy?
answers. I need answers.
I want to fuck him in the
Sure,
squid.
please.
Okay.
Per a conversation we had 3.5 years ago, that was the
Uh-huh.
last time we seen each other. You've had contact.
No, I have not. No, not since I was younger, probably 17, 18.
I'm going to you've had contact.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, certainly not alone. There's
But
millions of people.
Not
who've
me.
gone
No
through
one
this.
else in the room. Tom, I don't know about you.
I'm not
but
sure if that's exactly true, because
Adrenaline.
part
Knowing
of
about
part
it.
of the experience is not knowing about it. Yeah, they do very well at psychological control and masking memories, things like that. They're not just more advanced technologically; they're biologically more advanced, or they have such advanced technology it seems magic. But they never. Everyone's like, "Oh, if aliens are coming, I punch them in the head." Look at them little
Welcome
heads.
to Earth.
These people. would
Yeah,
punch you in
exactly.
the
Will
head.
Smith did it.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
He punched them through their armor.
Yes.
Let me
That's
go
a
get my
weird-
9 iron,
that's such
and
a-
I will take this little 3-foot-tall, egg-headed, bug-eyed motherfucker right out. Then
That's
I'll
a-
march him down to the New York Times main
No,
office.
he already
And I'll
kicked
be
you in the
famous.
balls with his brain.
See, to me, that's
Literally.
to me, that would be just such a weird way to react to seeing something new. Like, oh, wow, you're new. Die!
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
That's amazing. Let me kill it.
Yeah. Like, wow, you're looking right
That
at
was the
me.
old hunter mentality, the 1800s. Let's go to Africa, see some majestic beasts,
I mean, I
and
might
slaughter them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I might say, like, you're lucky you're not really soft and furry. I would have fucking killed you for your pelt. And you can talk, so it's cool.
But that's how they get away with everything, is that before they even come near a human, they're like wild animals to them. There's a level of psychological control. They literally can freeze you in place, and they can alter your mood so you're friendly to them. Whether it's, we know that the brain works on electrical patterns. They probably have something advanced
They
that
give you a
allows
little-
them
I've
to-
got a
ESP
problem. If they're that
chill pill.
advanced,
Yes.
why would they have to make me friendly to them?
Oh, well, you're much more cooperative.
Why do I have to be cooperative? They have this much technology. Just fucking zap me, teleport me, do whatever.
I'd be pretty
I don't know.
cooperative.
You need me to walk? You
Yeah, you actually cooperate. They're like, come on, let's go. Yeah,
What-
and you're like, okay, yeah, sure.
why? If you have that level of technology, like you better have a levitating freaking flat table that carts me away.
It's called a Cosby.
I mean,
Yeah,
they do.
make
They
me.
do lift you up into the shift through.
Even more my
lift
point
levitation.
of why do you need me to walk?
That's probably easier than carrying you out. Quite frankly, I don't know. See,
Bring the boys, bring Bubba Alien, and carry me over your shoulder
Yeah.
and put me in the beam and float me up.
Okay,
these are
say-
all
okay,
questions
okay,
that you would really have to ask them
You're thinking about it,
because
like,
you're thinking in human terms.
yeah, from a trusting standpoint.
Okay.
See, if I were to like bump into a planet and they were people and I'm a person, but it's another planet, I'd still be like, no, we're going to give him the cooperative numb juice.
That's right.
Because I don't know what his priorities and things might be fucked up.
He's,
you know.
he's an angry savage. They kill each other on a daily basis.
Yeah, like you
I'm
like,
not getting killed to
But even
Like
if
this
you
guy.
can make me passive,
name one like
you can make me nothing. Just bleh.
well, a lot of people
Always
do
shoot
not
the-
remember their encounters.
always
Well, yeah,
always shoot the gorilla in the ass with a dart.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
It might be
What
the
it is.
friendliest gorilla.
yeah, well, that's knock me out.
We're
do
not
what
going to
you gotta
find out
do.
with my arms
Don't
being ripped off.
don't make me.
You know, these are all questions you got to ask them
Yeah, I will.
because it may not make sense to you.
Whenever I
according to
meet-
it seems to make sense to me.
Yeah.
Before you go to take a specimen or a person, you
Make
make
'em
them
chill.
cooperative.
Make 'em
Yeah,
chill.
make them very chill. They go along, and like they're your best
You see,
friend.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that,
Works for 'em.
that
They're
hasn't
getting
been
away
said.
with it.
Like you do the thing, you do the control, you do the the numbing, whatever. Unpleasant or scary, or it hasn't been said yet.
Well,
That's what I mean. Like the fear things haven't been.
now we're getting into some real serious things. I don't think they're very funny.
I've
but
noticed that.
they're true. You can have different reactions. If you become suddenly conscious, it would of course be a very frightening thing. You know,
I still have
you were
nightmares.
kidnapped by monsters who think they're surgeons, and they're controlling you. And there are procedures. They do medical
I
procedures.
still have nightmares about the
Sometimes.
alien movie where the needle was going to the eye.
Was that Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, Fire in the Sky.
Now,
Yep.
the thing about Fire in the Sky is it's an absolutely true story until they get on the ship. At that point, the producers in the film say, no, we got to fix this up.
Yep.
He's in a hanging balloon, and they're putting a needle in his eye.
Yeah.
And then he's running. He's got the fire hose. He's going John McClane. Up until that point, it was an absolute true story.
But that
Travis
needle,
Walton was zapped by a flying saucer in front of 6 coworkers.
Yep.
And they got the hell out of there. They come back. There's just burned spots where he was. They searched the mountains for 3 days. He is gone. It becomes a national story. And 3 days later, he appears malnourished, dropped off, nude. Of course, he could have had a wild weekend. But the facts are that he was zapped by a flying saucer on a mountain, and his friends got the hell out of there, and they called the police. And they called the state police, and they all immediately assumed they had murdered him.
See,
and they gave them, these are working men, they didn't even like each other. And they were all given polygraph tests, and they all passed them.
See, if the beings are of intelligence that we are giving them credit for, why the fuck would they zap a dude with other dudes around them if they're trying to hide something?
Well, there are questions about that.
You can't give people credit for being smart.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to give
with Travis Walton.
Well, no, I'm giving credit.
If I was an alien, everyone on this planet would have intellectual aids. Universal precautions would be exercised.
But they're
zap with the calm
They're
stuff.
not
Well, I can answer the question. Let me answer the question. Sorry. The answer to the question is the truck stopped. The craft was over this way, going down the mountain road.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gold craft. It was probably 20 feet across, glowing, pulsing, hovering, disc-shaped. Travis Walton got out of the truck and walked right over to the craft and got under it. Now, it's very possible that it triggered some kind of defense, or it was then became a threat. But he got very close to the craft and it zapped him for whatever reason it happened. It's not really in dispute. There were 6 witnesses.
My problem is that with technology today, my cell phone has radar.
Okay.
You got a craft that can do that. You didn't
let's
know
this
there
right
was,
now. Let's cut right to the bottom here.
Unless the aliens were intentionally waiting for them to show up.
You're looking for flaws and things that are really pretty much documented facts. I don't. Are you disputing that Travis Walton was zapped by a flying saucer?
I'm disputing the intelligence of aliens.
Okay. Well, they're pretty intelligent. It really seems they're quite intelligent. At least, I mean, not all of them. Maybe they're so smart that they didn't even think of, hey, we're trying to hide. Charlie, you fucked up again. Well, I don't know if they were trying to hide. I don't know why they were there.
What is the motive? I guess is my base question.
Of aliens coming here?
No, of this incident specifically. What was the motive? Because you never hear of a craft hovering.
Well, it's not a TV show that wraps up in 30 minutes, so they don't say what their motives are.
Exactly. That's
they don't.
Why,
when you get
no
on
matter what question we come out with, that will be what is
why
their
would
motive.
you explain
I guess.
it though? Like if you were to go study something, like you trap a rat, why are you going to sit there and go, "Listen, mouse, this is what we're going to do."
He's exactly right. They talk to people.
Yeah,
like,
but if the mouse was of an intelligence to think, he'd go, "Why you do this to me?"
Okay, and to the alien,
sometimes they answer that and they say, "Because we can. It's for your own good. Relax."
Or maybe
you know how they
like
talk to you? They talk to you like your vet talks to the dog when you bring them in. They don't sit down and they go, "Well, I got my medical license at the University of Ohio, Buster. And here's what we're going to do. You swallowed, a baseball. So we're going to cut your stupid ass open and take it out."
Maybe us talking.
You don't talk.
Us talking to aliens.
That's right.
Some of them, the ones.
Yeah. Go, Joe. Go.
Us talking to aliens is probably like what a lab mouse would squeak. It would just be whatever. Who cares? Even if you could understand the squeak. We understand a scary squeak. We understand a happy squeak, but we don't give a shit. It's a fucking lab rat.
I guess my whole thought.
To a very large degree.
I guess my whole thought is predicating as they are trying.
But you don't want
to hide their existence just as much as our government is trying to hide their existence.
Well, are they though? I mean, there are those who also believe. I mean, there are incidents like You know, a mile-wide triangle craft flew over the city of Phoenix in 1997. A flying saucer shut down O'Hare Airport in 2006 when it appeared in the middle of the afternoon. When one culture that's really advanced is introduced to another culture, like us and the Indians were wiped out. The culture was so advanced, it's like, what are we holding on to this for? And there's mass panic. If they reveal themselves to 1,000 people here and 2 million people the next year, and another
So they're following
the
Star Trek
you gradually
rule
get
of conduct.
used to their existence. That's one theory. But clearly there's been incidents where they've made no effort to conceal themselves.
Hey, white people.
They hovered over the White House
White
for
people
3
in this
days
country started as a
in
rumor.
1953. What did?
White people in this country started as a rumor.
Yeah.
Like, hey, watch out for these motherfuckers on the coast. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Sure.
We're in Oklahoma. Oh shit.
So, you know, that's the deal there. There's all kinds of there's different species with different agendas.
That's
And the sad thing is that
It doesn't even have to
from
be
some
species.
witnesses, it appears that there may be a big war in space.
Mhm.
Star Wars, if you've ever heard that term.
Really?
laser.
That's a great movie
I know,
title.
right?
Tom
Somebody
Brady
should
was so awesome. in
So
that.
conflict seems to be up all the way up the ladder and all the way down the ladder, which is depressing. We assume that when we meet somebody advanced, they'll all be cool. Oh yeah, come on, we'll give you free energy and teach you how to live forever.
You would make donuts wrong the whole time.
Instead, it's more like Earth. Oh, you know what? They have uranium there. We need that. Let's land and we'll pick up a couple people and have a weekend. But there, you know, so there's different agendas at foot.
Okay, then I
Different
can wrap my head
species.
around that.
But it's either you're aware of it or you're not. It's not a matter of belief. I mean, there are, you know, like 4 of our astronauts have addressed the United Nations
Mhm.
talking about
I'm aware. I am of the
and
belief.
you know, even in the WikiLeaks on Podesta this past season, the most interesting things they didn't even discuss in those WikiLeaks were conversations they had regarding diplomacy with an alien race from, they described it in the Podesta, our alien friends from a contingent universe. That's how they described it.
The Upside Down.
Yeah, that's another thing is they may not be extraterrestrial. They may be interdimensional. But might be the easiest way to get here.
Our doppelgangers.
And as we learn more, it sounded ridiculous in the 40s.
The Flash.
But
is
isn't
real,
string
is what
theory
it's
now the prevalent model of the universe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I fly a space game pretty much every day.
There you
I'm
go.
warping between galaxies. I'm landing on planets. I'm finding alien arc or like relics and stuff. So as much as I'm being a devil's advocate,
Sure.
I'm of the belief.
Well, you don't see, that's the word again. You don't need it. You just have to be aware of the absolute mountains
I'm aware.
of evidence. And there are nations around the world that have
You're
gone
woke.
unmeasured. The French government.
You're woke.
I'm woke. I am woke.
It doesn't
No,
take a lot.
I was woke. But
I mean, the French government released a position paper in 2002, the Comedypipe papers, in which they said, guess what? These things are extraterrestrial. And they probably pose a real threat to security.
maybe.
And there's
Just
so
pop up anywhere.
you know, it's not a topic that really comes up. We talk about aliens a lot, but it's usually Wookiees.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But enough aliens. I need to talk some PBS.
I love PBS.
That's what I
Joe
need to talk.
loves
Whatever time we have
PBS
left.
even more.
Oh,
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
that's
Let's-
it, man.
Seriously?
Yeah, it goes by
didn't-
fast.
we shouldn't have gotten in that
Oh, wow.
alien thing, man. But
It was actually only 10 minutes of the
That
whole
was
show.
quite interesting. I
All
loved
right.
it.
Aliens
No.
were only 10 minutes. He's got a lot on that paper.
I
yeah, I
loved it.
haven't any of it. Lady
That's what happens on the show.
Gaga, Baseball being so slow.
Lady Gaga. That was
Star
really
Trek,
pronounced.
PBS. You kind of are into PBS. You're a real
I
PBS
really like
guy.
giving them shit.
Do you?
Playful. I like giving them playful shit.
Yeah.
I'm calling them out sometimes. Like when they did that, the veterans, thing, the Veterans Day thing, and they showed stills of Forrest Gump.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're like, veterans, and they served us, and it's like that's Gary Sinise. That's the scene from Forrest Gump. It's a still, and I was like, no, it's not okay. PBS, you got to pick your game up, dude. And British Antiques Roadshow, it just fucking
Can't
pisses
stand
me
it.
off.
They're all. He's right though. They're all
I-
key sets.
Yeah, it's all yeah,
They're
and it was
two
given
sets.
to us by Duchess Charles the Third douche, and whatever they say, it's just.
And
it's
they always say this too. This one survived the war.
yeah, this one's.
You know how I know that survived the war? Because it's here.
And some of them try to be
It's very old. It's older than the war, and it's where you brought it in.
Yeah, and like the next British git
Yeah.
will walk up, the smarmy asshole will walk up and be like, "This one survived the first war."
Oh,
Actually.
well.
Yeah, Camilla Parker Bowles. And
Well,
it's just like,
old man,
really-
you will not survive the next one.
Yeah, it's
So yes, that's it exactly. I believe this is George the First.
yeah. They never have cool
George
shit
the
from
First.
Missouri.
Is this George the First? Really? Oh, Edward the Second. Oh, Henry the Fifth. They got all those sequel kings. You know, they have sequels to their king. Oh, well, you see Henry the Eighth. Oh, it's incredible. He gets married a bunch of times. That's the one we're going to go see. We save our sequels for like superhero movies.
Yeah.
We don't do it for kings. Although we almost had a Clinton sequel, didn't we?
Yeah, we almost did.
Clinton 2.
Quentin
This
part
time-
two.
This time it's menopausal.
Wow.
I don't know.
She's always hot.
Yeah, we missed our chance to have the first 2 impeachment family.
Ah,
in the
It's
White
hot in
House.
here. It's 4 degrees.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just you walking in the room, man, makes it frigid. I can't imagine how you are warm. I don't know
But
why that
PBS,
20
man,
was big.
PBS is great. The regular Antiques Roadshow, I love it, man.
Yes.
Because
The regular
they're
is
good for a couple paintings at least, 2 paintings.
some quilts,
paintings.
some Native American stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Sometimes.
Some
They
wampum.
do a lot of that, and they're worth like,
Wampum.
you know what gets me is the ridiculous disparity in some of the worth of some of these things. Like, oh, this blanket, some Indian a Native American proudly made. Well, that's $150,000 here. Then they go over here and they go, oh, this is the letter where Roosevelt declares war on Germany. Screw you, Hitler. And I'd say I would insure it for $200.
See, Roosevelt
fucking
made
kidding me?
several
Oh,
copies.
this Mickey Mouse iron toy from the 1920s, it's $50,000. Oh, this is a piece of JFK's skull, $80.
$10, yeah. Tree fitty.
Well, that's because it wasn't from the smart part.
Yeah.
It affects the value.
Tree
See,
fitty.
this is the part of his brain that
Didn't respect
didn't invade the Bay of Pigs.
this part. Didn't like women.
That wasn't a big part of
This
it.
one loved women. All of them.
Yeah, so that bothers me about the Antiques Roadshow. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like the things that should be worth a lot, they're not worth
Yeah.
anything.
They do seem
You
itemly
should switch
prejudiced.
over to like Pawn Stars or something.
Oh, I hate Pawn Stars, man.
Oh, no.
Do I want
That's
to?
just loaded with
That's the
dishonesty.
hillbilly.
If I
Any-
wanted to watch somebody
Roadshow.
get screwed, I would put on porn.
My
Yeah,
first
that's-
problem, and my first
It's like, I'm running a business here. Me and my mongoloid son and Chewbacca. What's the other guy's name?
Chumley.
Chumley.
extra chromosome.
You know who Chumley was? You know Chumley? Chumley was Tennessee Tuxedo's walrus friend. In the cartoons, it was his rich.
Yeah.
It was his developmentally disabled
It was his retarded.
walrus friend. Tennessee Tuxedo was a cartoon penguin.
Oh,
This-
Who lived in a zoo.
That's
This is
him.
40 and up stuff.
And
That's-
the
that's-
voice was the guy who did Get Smart. It was Don Adams.
Don Adams.
He's like, well, Chumley.
He was a
That's-
Marine.
And for some reason, this penguin was really concerned with money-making schemes. It's like, if we can get out of here and sell these zoo T-shirts for, okay, Tennessee.
That is Chumley.
That's how
Yeah.
Oh, Tennessee.
I like
Wow.
but the thing, I like how he always calls in a shill. Like, I know an expert on this, and the guy.
Oh, they call an expert area.
Mr.
It's
Whoopi
not an
showed up
expert.
a lot.
It's a shill. He brings in a buddy of his that has a vested interest in going. Yeah, you don't got what you think. You do."
Well,
But almost.
not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes they come in and say, "Yo,
It just
This
pulls
isn't
them
what
right
you
out
think
of the
it is.
goddamn zoo. And they're like, I don't know, they're opening a restaurant in a good part of town. Yeah, so that's Chumley. Pawn Stars.
yeah, it's Chumley." What else you got on the list?
Oh.
Let's hammer down your list.
Well, I was PBS, man. The best things on. You ever watch Rick Steves Europe?
Oh yeah,
Is that great?
it's okay. He has an annoying cadence. He's
He does.
just
He's a real
so,
pot smoker, I find
He's
out.
so.
He is. He's a big pot smoker.
See, all I'm
I go,
hearing is
that makes
neither one
sense.
of you have cable.
Well, there were days before cable.
You're
my friend.
observant. And at PBS, we notice things like
Yeah.
that.
Now, give us your donation, and you'll get some Yanni. No,
You can't do better than Rick Steves Europe.
Uh,
He's walking around. He's like, "Oh, you got to
See,
get off the
I'm
beach."
on
found
the-
a cafe
I'm
that has
on the-
great croissants and other things. And the mom, she likes to be called Mom. So I called her Mom, and she gave me coffee.
See, I'm on the whole
The dark
opposite
canals of
spectrum.
Venice.
He is the Butters of PBS. He is so awesome to hate. You just wish he'd die.
I'm on the so opposite spectrum
And-
of PBS, though.
The little catacombs under Mount Mart are a great place for anonymous gay sex.
The ceilings are very weak, but I got lucky that day.
So we obviously
We rocked
watched.
the foundation under the Mount Mart Cathedral. I heard the bells in Notre Dame ringing from here.
We
So
obviously
Rich
watched.
Steves is great. There's a show on now called what is it called? Hidden Villages, with some chick, some ancient British chick,
Ancient.
and they're going through like
Oh,
parts
yeah.
of England and like
She wears the gaudy jewelry.
that's yeah.
Okay. I'm not gay.
So that's a good one. But when I was a kid, PBS, man, it was it. There were 3 channels. There was PBS, and they had Doctor Who. And then
Yep.
Sunday nights at 11 o'clock, I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, but I was always up late, and they had Monty Python's Flying
Monty
Circus.
Python's Flying Circus.
This was like
Watched it.
Slap
and
him in the face.
I wouldn't miss it. Sometimes they do 2,
Mhm.
and it was like that was the best
They can
best
still-
comedy on television. I would say Monty Python's Flying Circus is the greatest comedy series of all time. I don't think anything even approaches the depth of brilliant comedy these guys put out.
Benny Hill
It was clever. It was stupid. It was subversive. It was
Provocative.
yeah.
It was political.
Erotic. Wait.
Erotic. Yeah, absolutely.
There were-
It got
there
through.
were-
Let's put it this way.
There was tits were there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I guess-
I was like, Benny Hill took that
Tits
to a
were
new
more-
level, but yes.
Yeah, Benny Hill
Hill's-
was
Benny Hill's
just
good, but
tits.
to
Yeah.
put it this way, yeah.
Let's not even talk about
Monty Python.
Benny Hill and Monty Python.
No.
in the
That's
same
there's no comparison.
conversation.
There's no
It's like-
comparison.
Well,
Monty
Yeah,
Python-
Citizen Kane was great,
Well, they
but
were
have you seen Porky
See,
too?
but they were just always back to back
No,
on
no.
PBS.
Here's the
Were
thing
they?
with Monty Python.
In my day, they
It
were.
might have been.
They outwrote and outwitted British censors
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. they
Yes,
did.
absolutely.
with political speak. I mean, you
Yeah.
could show tits. They didn't want you to see. They mean, yeah, we'll show you tits. We're gonna make it thick, and the British censors didn't want you to do that, and they outsmarted them, outwitted them. That's why they're better. When Benny Hill came around, it was different.
That was just tits.
We're gonna
That-
chase
that-
you around,
yeah.
tits in a cemetery.
Yeah, that's what it is every
But
show.
it was still.
It's-
I was 8. It's funny.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah, sure that more than Scorsese's good.
But
But have you seen
Benny Hill.
Benny Hill?
if PBS wants to save money, if they want to save money, they just reruns of Jack Horkheimer,
Oh, the Star Hustler.
the Stargazer,
Yeah.
Star Hustler. Yeah,
Miami Planetarium.
Isn't
Yes.
that like, greetings,
that's when Uranus is visible in the sky. I love that guy.
See, I like the art guy.
greetings,
Bob
fellow
Ross?
stargazer.
Oh, there's Bob
Tonight
Ross.
we talk about the twin teasers in the sky,
Yeah,
Zubin El Jamubi and Zubin Ash Jamani.
he's so much better now.
These stars make me hot.
Now Stargazer is done by like these two like odd couple, but they don't live together, just in an apartment where the black guy shouldn't live, but he's there anyway.
Yeah,
Stargazer.
what's-
It's so awkward. I just don't like it. It's just-
You can't recreate that Horkheimer magic.
no, but they're doing Stargazer with like there's the white guy and the black guy, and it's like they're on sides. They're so awkward together. It just doesn't work. It's like just replay it.
Tonight, he was a little too excited. Oh, tonight. I've been waiting for this eclipse for 11 years. And tonight, oh man.
Better not make me miss it.
It's like scripted discomfort.
Okay.
The new one.
I never cared for Carl Sagan. I don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't like any of those people.
I like doing memes of him. It's fun. Why do you like him?
Get me going.
No, I get you going.
No, please get going because I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's great.
Yeah, he's fine. What did I say? I think. So yeah, PBS. Good stuff, man. I love PBS.
Yeah, me too.
You ever watch those shows where they fly over things, man? They fly over cities or countries?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love those.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well, you're
so,
a pilot, so you probably just fly over shit.
You just do it.
I've seen stuff from the air. Yeah,
That's
I've seen it
cool.
from a neat vantage point.
That's
Did you see
cool.
the newest thing where they have the spy animals? The newest special where they have like the little otter with the spy camera in its eye, and the little goose,
I
and
have
all this
not.
others.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
to touch
The only thing I found annoying about that was like, oh, we're here with the gophers, and we've got spy gopher. They just kept calling everything spy, like there's
Oh,
some
yeah.
espionage to it,
Right.
and it's like, no, you just put a cool thing in, and we're gonna watch.
It says like a
elephants
gopher
now.
warrior cam.
Yeah,
kind
it was
of
weird.
thing.
It was like, you know, yeah.
I don't need to see what they're up to. It'd be cool if they follow them back to their lair and stuff.
Yeah, they had like a little wolf pup with a little thing in its eye. All this animatronic, like Chuck E. Cheese, but good.
How
I
cool
would
would
love
it be
it.
to have a lair?
A lair?
I'd love to
You're
have a
in
lair.
my fucking lair.
I know.
Yeah, this is a lair, right?
This is
Is it
kind of
right
my
here?
lair. Yeah, it is a man
Lair.
cave lair. It's
Yeah.
it's all right.
Lairs rule.
Lairs are cool.
Gotta get one.
Lairs. I'm an old Larry, so I got a lair right in my name almost. Yeah, well, like supervillains have lairs. You know, I wonder if they list them that way, like on Craigslist.
And they're always decked
You know,
out.
cottages,
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
lairs.
I'm not gonna advertise.
Oh, there's a wonderful volcano lair going up for.
Yeah, on Airbnb, there's this awesome Fortress of Solitude.
You can't really
I
lift
like
the
it.
key. Just
Yeah.
You got to hope he's home.
One rule: don't touch the crystals. Don't touch the crystals.
And Batman had his lair. Actually, Batman didn't
yeah.
really have much of a lair. It was just it was a cave full of stagnant water
Yeah,
and bat shit.
this
That's what it was.
If I had like
Yeah,
a
no,
fountain
you
of
mentioned
bat
that
shit
every
over
time you
there,
went
this
through.
would be Batman's
You
bat.
can see the
yeah.
water just dripping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time they went through, they had to go through.
That's-
If I was
that
Robin,
should-
I'd be like, dude, you're a billionaire. Do we have to get douched every time we go home?
You are the richest
Don't you-
man.
can you
You're in
like
the
a-
car. Shut the fuck up.
You're the richest man in the DC universe. And instead of renting some like industrial real estate to store your bat shit, your bat boat, your bat
Or
copter,
a car with a
your
roof.
bat jets,
But again, okay.
you cram it into a you're gonna get dysentery
How do we get
before
down
you
there?
get the Joker.
But
Stripper
unlike
pole.
the aliens, Batman is actually trying to hide the fact that he's Batman.
And poor Alfred's got to go down there. Let's not forget
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Alfred-
He loves it.
Listen,
That guy
the
loves
deal
it.
with Alfred. Bruce Wayne is the worst employer in the goddamn world.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Here's the guy. The deal was, Alfred's raised him after his parents were murdered through his life and made him into the man he is. And to pay Alfred back, Batman makes him work 30 years beyond retirement age.
Yeah.
He's like 95 years old. And whereas like the Penguin can somehow afford like 80 henchmen.
But what
Or
is Alfred
Two-Face.
gonna do? He has
Batman
nothing
just-
on his resume. He can't go get McDonald's.
Batman
it doesn't
just
work.
Who did you work
Alfred
for?
do it.
Batman. Get the fuck out of here,
Exactly.
you crazy old. Yeah.
Alfred should be like, look, I'm trained to just like serve soup and kiss rich people's asses, right? I am not. If you want me to load kryptonite grenades onto the bat tank, download a fucking manual because they didn't teach you that
But
shit in
it's-
Butler School.
But
And he's
Bruce,
like
but
Trump.
Bruce Wayne didn't know how to do it either. It's learning
Yeah.
through experience.
He's kind of Trumpy because he calls everything bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he get a
my
bat?
Trump
The bat
mobile.
plane, the Trump plane.
How
My
about
the
Trump
bat.
orang.
Alfred should be.
That's his nemesis.
Do I get a bat pension? Because
Yeah.
is there a bat 401k? Or are you a cheap bastard? Because
You're talking about payment for Alfred. The man doesn't have to pay for anything.
Bastard. I love it. Did you hear that? He said
The
bastard.
bastard.
Okay,
Yeah,
come on.
okay.
yeah, you should be like, yeah, sure thing. I'll gas
You're a
up the bat
bastard.
jet, but can I take your laundry out of the dryer first? Because you're gonna spend half the night brooding on top of a water tower. I gotta keep this roast warm. Let me know when you're done brooding. I'll
Yeah.
put it back.
Can you
in.
at least put the microphone on mute when I hear you go? Just because you're angry on the top of that one. I get you.
Alfred, I don't have
Does he ever
We got 3 minutes left, by the way.
And
Just
does he
throwing
ever
it out there.
does he ever get a day off? I have never seen a Batman adventure
No.
where it was like Neil, the weekend guy.
Mhm.
It's like Neil, get my bat scuba suit out, Killer Croc, starting some shit.
Nope.
I don't know where he keeps it. Alfred's got a system.
His bat.
I know the
stand-in.
Flash takes days off, but
The Flash takes
Batman,
days off?
Batman does not.
Well, the day after the Flash is
Yeah,
like 2
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, well,
That's right.
Flash has days off because they portrayed that in 500 episodes on the CW,
I would
along with Arrow and
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
And Legends of Tomorrow.
I would not want to be the Flash. Can you imagine talking to people if you were the Flash? You're like, hey, how about that thing? They're like, well,
You can control it.
Go
you're
ahead,
like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
for Christ's sakes. Why don't you write it down?
the
I'll go save Central City. I'll come back and read your post-it note of what your deep thoughts are on the movie.
It's
Yeah.
really a sad character of the Flash. Like when they were inventing it, like in the writer's room, like what does he do? He does everything really fast. You realize we got to fill
That's why
30
there's-
minutes, right?
That's why there's no Mrs. And that's why there's no Mrs. Flash.
Yeah,
By the way.
exactly. Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck? Are you sure? Well,
Did it go in?
It looks like you were in.
What do you mean? Did it go in? I
Looks
fucking
like-
fucked you 500 times. You didn't feel it? Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm hanging out with slow motion tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Aquaman can
I gotta
hold
see-
his breath at
Hello,
least.
yeah, Sloth Man there.
Man. Chris, it has been fantastic.
Yeah, well,
finally having you on the show.
sure,
I'm sorry we
great.
didn't get to much of your list. And it is exactly what happens on this show. We have written pages and pages, and then we get to absolutely nothing. So we've resorted to this little book, and we got to one topic in it.
Well, keep looking up, fellow stargazers.
One topic, yes. One topic. I'm going to turn it into two topics at the end.
Stars.
And at the end of every episode, he would
That's
hop
smart.
on like to the like to the crescent moon with
Yes.
a little horn, and he would always hop on the and he
Little
would
gay
sit-
rainbow.
and
He jumps on a gay
Yeah,
rainbow.
little gay
didn't he?
rainbow, and he would sit on it.
Carry me away.
Chris, got any shows coming up?
I do. I have that's thank you. I'd like to just plug my shows. Saturday, I'm with Michael Gregg and a bunch of great people at Terra Restaurant at this Washington Avenue.
Terra.com.
You know what it is? It's kind of near Washington and Lark. It's
Okay,
a great
yeah.
little place. They're also doing an open mic on Wednesdays. So you should check it out. They're doing great things. Great things. Then I'm down with Andy McDermott and Jim Felter at
Okay.
the Sebsea Studios.
Yes, in Saugerties,
Socrates.
right next to our good friend Dave Cannon.
Wonderful.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, and then
Sure.
I'm doing a thing on Panzas on the Lake on the March 1st and then March 4th at
So you're busy.
Cinema and Grill 190.
190 Grill.
That the
Glens
wonderful
Falls.
Catherine Gauthier,
Golf, yeah.
who is a great friend. She's an incredible comedian, and she's really doing some great things for this area.
We love
bringing
her to
comedy into new
We
venues.
love her to death.
She gets things done. She is great. She's a real positive force in the scene. I'm glad to know her.
Love her to death.
Yeah.
Pretty
Me too.
goddamn funny.
Chris,
She's
it's been
great.
awesome having you. Tom, got any shows
Great.
coming up?
All right.
Tom, has been good having you.
Thanks.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Thank you, gentlemen. My pleasure.
And in December,
It was a lot of fun.
you can see Orion's belt.
When is he gonna do that belt?
You got to talk into the microphone,
It's,
man.
it's great
I
that you
miss that
guys
guy.
How about
get things out
unbuckle
there
Ryan's
and you
belt?
use this incredible media here. You know?
Pegasus.
We're trying.
Anybody could listen to it at any time and any place.
We're trying to
Wait
use
a minute.
pitching
Wait a
technology.
minute. Other people are gonna hear this.
Yeah.
All of them. All of
Are
them.
you fucking-
All the peoples.
You know, we're talking about stats
Any-
earlier. All of them.
anybody
The
anywhere in
internets.
the world
You
at
should have
any
warned
time.
me.
The internets. Welcome to podcasting.
No, it's cool.
Jefferson,
Hi.
got anything cool coming up?
No.
So, since I knew the answer to that, I'm going to leave you with the last bit in the book.
The last.
It was
bit in the book?
it was the only other thing written in the book, and I think it was a lost opportunity.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I
It was.
fucked up.
Everyone was at the wake, which meant we could have totally taken all of the Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
He's even-
We could have
he's
totally
like,
broke into
oh.
your house
I hadn't
no
even thought
break-in.
about it.
and
No.
stolen those motherfucking Transformers.
I absolutely could have went between 4 and 7 when I was done with my
God.
obligation.
Damn it! And
When I was sitting around just
see with it.
fucking waiting.
And we all, and you and I both thought of it too. I was like, this would be a perfect. time to go to
See,
the
and I was
house.
like, yo, Joe and I didn't go through the family line and shake everybody's hand. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry. We don't know these people. We knew Jefferson.
I wasn't invited. Sorry.
And he wasn't invited.
Well, those are the best. You grab them, you start crying hysterically and sink down their front. You know what I mean? Till you got them like right around the waist.
See, but
You're just
There
crying
was a-
and sobbing into their crotch.
but I really
They'd be like, dude, this isn't Atlanta. Get up.
There was a younger guy that showed up that did almost exactly what he's saying. He didn't get quite as sobby, but he went through the line. Nobody knew who he
Yeah.
was.
No,
just sobbing.
Before we go, speaking of Atlanta, you heard that weird story in the news today. Mysterious deaths at the Atlanta Zoo.
No.
Apparently, the falcons there also choked to death on Tom Brady's cock. Very odd.
Very
odd.
odd. Happenstance.
choke job, wasn't that?
Happenstance.
Oh.
There, happenstance. See, but the missed opportunity for me was I should have gone through the line and at least gotten to your mom and done one of the, shaking the hand, possibly like the half hug.
Yeah.
And go, I'm sorry for your loss. Now give me the Transformers. And walked away.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Chris raises a very good point. A very good point. Like,
Yeah.
the Patriots, they came back and it's a record. They came back from the largest deficit.
It was amazing.
The Falcons are also part of that record.
Yeah.
They blew the biggest fucking lead ever.
Well, you know, you sometimes you just can't come back from 25 points up. It's too much to hold
Too
on
much
to.
stuff.
Unbelievable.
But I
Wasn't it?
love the this was Atlanta's worst defeat since the Civil War. And both of them were the Patriots.
I knew where you were going with that. Like, Joe Green, got any shows coming up?
Yes, this Saturday at the Broad Up Hotel, featuring Pat DeBerry, hosting myself, and headlining Mike Spears, who does anti-bullying campaigns in schools because he's a very thoughtful person.
Yay! Make sure to check out Dave
And
Cannon
book.
and his podcast, the Dumbing It Down with Dave podcast, the fastest podcast on earth, going to and from work, recording his podcast while doing just above the speed limit.
Contact thebroadupandhotel.com for tickets before it's sold out. It's the pre-Valentine's Day show. So take your girlfriend there and take your wife out for Valentine's Day.
Hey-o.
Telling you how life ought to be.
Or as it's known to single people, Suicide Day.
Yes.
You know,
Love you, Dave. We're gonna have Dave Cannon on the show on a special show day. I believe it's gonna be a Sunday. We're gonna do a live show if we're all in the next week and a half, I believe. Maybe
I thought it was
12th,
this Sunday.
13th. 13th. Oh, say yeah, possibly this Sunday. Yeah, we got to get that shit together. So we're gonna do that. The old Duke's Last Laugh get together with some of our founding open micers.
Say forefathers.
Yes, forefathers. I didn't want to.
No, I can't.
Who are the other three?
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. My friends call me 3D. Thank you all for tuning in. My friends call me 3D. Thank you all for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
My friends call me 3D.
You said it twice.
I said it 3 times actually.
Yeah.
That was
like your name then, right?
3D.
Again,
Hey-o.
Yeah.
it's good.
Check us out
That's good.
next week, right here on Pipedream on the Comedypipe Radio Network.
Awesome show.
Well, I hope that was okay. Was all right? Good. Yeah, we kind of started getting into that heavy topic, but I'm glad we talked to it.
We are still live, by the way.
After show, what? We're still on?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Just on the YouTube.
those Jews, everybody, right?
Yeah, right. You know, I think